Hello, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Depsians. So we're for another episode. This is one of the camping legal craft. No weird shenanigans, but yeah. Welcome to the Sublime Cacophony. So this is something quite different from my usual designs as well. Um, I just wanted to do on a whim to build well, something that uses crayons. My usual designs are quite focused on reliability and versatility, having one design able to duel with multiple enemies and threat profiles and not really dependent on one weapon system, a good mix of offense and balance. While this is something completely different. It's a siege cruiser that costs 500k and has almost 500k of firepower in crams, 400 for firepower, excuse me. So it was very much kind of a glass cannon kind of craft, and it uses crayons, the worst weapon in the game. So, well, why does it do that? Well, I'll explain a little bit. Let's first go for a tour of this beautiful interior exterior temple complex thing. I don't know how you even call it. So, as most of my craft, the Sublime Cacophony is fully walkable. Uh, no in air quotes here. So there's a throne room, control room, and down here you have like the bunks, the bathroom. I believe there's another bathroom and got a little rest area. Just pretty bare minimal, but I think it's still good to have those design aspects in mind. And then there's a few small control consoles around uh, the captain's chair, so to speak. Oh, there you go. There's a chair. All right, let's have a look at combat. All right, so first of all, we have spawned as a cobalt. All right, we have fired our first burst. Let's see if we can catch up. Need to go above that ship. There you have it. Now you see the true terror of this vessel. It's basically a cram bomber, but a warp drive thruster craft as well. You can see there's a huge hole gouged out in the cobalt. Those particle cannons are just for flavor. They do a bit of EMP damage to try and disable some of the features, such as detection with lamps. Just a very tiny edge in terms of combat. So now the cobalt has sunk below. The crams automatically switch to a uh, a narrow cone firing configuration, whereas previously for any above water target will go in a 120-degree frag configuration. This is because water slows down cram shells, and because these shells are time fused, they will always explode above the target when it's underwater. So a narrow cone profile is more effective. Let's have a look at these damage numbers. 3.8 million. Wow. Hey, that's not too shabby. So because the craft stays right above its uh, its enemies, um, it's prone to take a lot of vertical launch missile damage. So I gave it a very good anti-munition system. Uh, and then because I already gave it quite good lands, why not just give it a laser air defense system as well? Okay, so at least it's knocked out some of these guns. Let's hope we can knock out some of the missiles as well. The whole craft is slightly a little bit of a glass cannon. I tried to give it more armor, but the more armor it has, the less it is able to uh, right, warp up to the target, right above the target, um, which I think honestly is best form of defense to be able to stay right in the blind spot of a lot of these ships. Alright, so we have almost cut the Strauss Honey in half as well. But we do take quite a bit of damage ourselves. It seems like we're in the lead. So yeah, there's only one layer of heavy armor on the bottom of that ship, and then there's 1 to 2 layers of alloy. Uh, I try to give it 2 layers of heavy armor, which is why the whole bottom is coated in gold color actually. Um, if I decide to change it up to heavy armor, I can just armor swap all the gold blocks to heavy armor, but not very effective because it reduces the teleport range. These crams are on um, a 40-second reload instead of a 20 standard 20 because they're not continuous damage crams. The huge part of defense of this craft is to be reliant on the first strike, first volley, and just taking out absolute huge amount of the target's fighting capabilities. It is very much a case the best defense is a good offense type of scenario. One major thing I want to improve with this craft is if multiple of these are ganging up on a large target, right now they're just bumping into each other and dropping into the ocean rather than being able to do double uh, the alpha strike volley. Once I figure that out, I think I'll revisit this craft quite a bit and it'll be quite good. Um, as well, this is one of my first crafts that uses ring shields. Normally, I build a lot of frontsiders that prefer deflecting shields, deflecting planar shields, because for a frontside airship that snipes at extreme range, the only thing that can, and if you have good munition defense, then the only thing you're really worried about is kinetic APS rounds, and it's better to deflect those with properly angled deflector shields. But because we do have a massive bottom surface, and we have a lot of flat internal spaces, and we don't know what kind of damage we'll be receiving from the bottom. I thought raising the armor value of these alloy surfaces, alloy blocks, would be uh, just make more sense compared to covering the whole bottom with planar shields that could not be properly angled, and you don't know what kind of damage type you'll be receiving. have a look inside. So there's a few massive cram systems. There's a defensive laser as well for munition defense, but also for AA purposes. And then there's just jets and engines, and that's a very simple craft. No armor on the top. It's very, very specialized. Put a lot of effort into getting the lasers to come right out of the top of these pyramids. It's quite fun. Let's have a look. Yeah, this ship is very much inspired by Bungalow Bill's Egyptian builds, although they don't have a lot of Egyptian aesthetics. And then, like, obviously the gold pyramid ships from Stargate, and actual ancient Egyptian Greek architecture. Uh, some of the sci-fi elements inspired by ancient Egypt, just inspiration from all around. Yeah, very fun build. And due to the weight restrictions of the warp drive, I literally could not overwork on this ship, and basically, what you see is what it is. Yeah, so there's that. Pretty short and sweet video. Thanks everyone for watching. See you guys next time.